How you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good. Getting ready for our 12 days of Christmas. Foxy set us a bit of a challenge this year to come up with 12 messages for Christmas. What are you thinking?
Absolutely. You know what? I was looking through all the parent ed feedback, and one of the things that seems really popular is the "What's your plan" message. And I just remember when that first started and where it came from, and everybody really does seem to resonate with it. Do you want to explain a little bit more about what that is?
Yeah, for sure. I can remember too when we first started doing parent eds. It's one of those things that's really stayed in there. If we look at the themes, what's your plan? It's just for me as a parent, I think it just gave me an opportunity more than anything to take a breath.
Yeah.
Um, I came across it originally when one of my son's occupational therapists was using "What's your plan" as a way to get him to think through the process of what he had to do to learn how to handwrite and learn how to use a knife and fork. And when we started applying it to our parenting, we found that it just really gave the kids an opportunity to walk away and think about what their part of the contract was. I suppose in a simple way to explain it is, rather than, I always start with under 10 footy. Used to love, and you would have been the same, going to under 10 footy and seeing 40 parents drive into the ground and then 30 parents driving back out to get mouth guards and kids going, oh, mum forgot my mouth guard again this week. You start to think about, well, we're all busy and we're saying, have you got this? Have you got this? And we're doing things for our kids. And then they get to 16, 17 and they start heading off to parties, things like that. And we want them to have a plan. So
Mm.
how do we put that in earlier from simple things like, okay, you got swimming tomorrow. What are 5 things you need in your swimming bag? What's your plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I know you probably got a bit of homework this week. What's your thinking or what's your plan around that? And getting kids to think about what they've got to do. If our boundary setting's really good when our kids are young and they know that there are certain boundaries that we're not prepared to cross, more often than not, they'll come up with a plan that sits within those boundaries. And it's actually a really good way of testing how they're sitting with boundaries and sitting with no.
I know I used to use it quite a lot when my kids were in their teens and they wanted to go somewhere or do something with their friends. And as you said, rather than just either saying no straight away or you must do it this way or what have you, is what's your plan? And usually they came up with a really reasonable expectation list of what they would do and how they would do it. So it's a really good way, as you said, of getting them to think about those things.
Yeah, and doing things like introducing, say, around Christmas time, people think about introducing technology into their home, like more technology or different technologies into their home. I really want this game. Comes to you as a parent. Okay, well, what's your plan? And your children should know the boundaries are. It's got to be age appropriate. Does it have these elements to it? What are the security settings on that? That if they can go away and come up with that, then maybe they're ready for the conversation. We still have the right to say no, absolutely, that sits with the family. But them being able to say that at least lets us know they're ready to have the conversation. If they can't come up with a plan, as you said, the party thing was a classic at our house one day when I'll never forget one of them coming in and saying, I really want to go to this party on Saturday night. And the kids knew under 16, you did not go to any parties with alcohol. That was about a flat boundary with us. Over 16, there must be an adult present. If there's alcohol, you are not to drink until you're 18. Those boundaries weren't negotiable. This child went away, came back quite huffy and puffy half an hour later and said, well, don't worry about it then. Had clearly been through the what's your plan. All we had to say was what's your plan, had been through, realised weren't going to be able to tick off the boundaries and had made that decision. And I kind of thought, hey, nailed parenting without saying no. Felt really good about myself.
Yeah, it's the
But
way to do it.
it does. It shows us where our kids are at with their thinking. And as you said, by 16, 17, we want to know that they can make a plan A and a plan B. So, yeah, as one of our 12 days of Christmas, having a think about, if you're not already doing it, what's your plan? If nothing else, it gives you a chance to breathe, let your child go away, come up with a bit of a business plan and come back and sell you their ideas. So, yeah, I think you're onto it.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right, mate. Well, you enjoy your afternoon and we'll catch up tomorrow and see what we've got for Foxy for tomorrow's 12 days of Christmas.
Sounds good. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.